Hi there and welcome. This is Sanaris. This is my player tag and my forum tag, Reddit tag, so it's easier. I record under this, and I'm gonna do some let's play tutorial. I don't know. I'll try to go through Dwarf Fortress. A bit of a hard game for for everyone. Very hard to get into. I've taken a long time to get into it. It was a while ago though, but and I want to tip my hat to Captain Dog for doing his tutorials back then. It was really useful, and I know a lot of other people got into Dwarf Fortress through that, and it made it a lot easier to understand what was actually going on. I normally play in the ASCII graphics with the ASCII graphics, and I've decided to do it with the tile set, both to learn it myself a little bit, but also because a lot of people who are unfamiliar with the game have a lot easier a time to look at this and understand what's going on. I might do some ASCII later. This is the Phoebus tile set, which also has the huge advantage that you can see multiple levels. Um, Let me just tab here to remove the minimap, and here you see the menu over here. I actually also added a little thing here where you can see what the keys I'm pressing in an input visualizer, which might be helpful. I don't know. Let me know. It shows the keys and the mouse. It's not the best one I found, but it's cheap and or it's free, so that's what I'm using. And so yeah, the tile set. Let's have a look here. Let's first zoom out. It has this multiple layer thing that where you can where I go up here using shift or dot or whatever it is. It's comma and dot to zoom in and out. So I'm zooming upwards now, and you can see that, but it's actually not that easy to see on this, but you can see it kind of zooming in with several levels. Here's where the mountain starts, and then big flat area here, very nice. Volcano over here. These two spires here, I've never seen anything quite like it. It's actually quite extraordinary. I generated the map several times, or I embarked several times. I just did a copy of the map when I didn't embark yet, and then I tried embarking, and I found out that this was actually quite awesome. Just a little bit of trial and error there, and replacing the old save and trying again if I was not happy with it. And this is quite nice. It just kind of begs for some kind of crazy double spire or twin spire fortress where you build on each of them, and then you just have an integrated system down here. Maybe you could even have an entrance here. I don't know. I'm thinking about actually cleaning this area over here and starting up here by doing what dwarves do best. One of the things that dwarves do best, and that's cut down trees. We just love cutting down trees. It's actually brilliant to see them go down. And my civilization, the civilization that I chose on the embark screen, actually have had a very hard time with elves. I'll make a link to a gallery where you can see some of the history of the world, where we've had 100 years of history so far. It's a short history, but there's been numerous wars, and our civilization, our dwarven civilization, which is one of 4 in the entire map, actually has 4 settlements left, 5 with this one, and it has lost aid to one of the elven civilizations who are much more numerous. And to make matters worse, there's another elven civilization on the other side, which is now starting to, get a little bit frisky. So this kind of ties in. We're a little bit away from there, but not that far away from there. So it's kind of an outpost to start another place and build up some strength so we can get back at those tree huggers. Anyway, so you see the multiple levels here. It makes it sometimes a little bit confusing, but also it makes it nice in some ways, where you can see more of the stuff going on and get a better feeling of what you're actually looking at. So I just pressed K, which is the in-game thing for look, where you can see, okay, here we have obsidian. There's a lot of obsidian in this map, which is great for value, great for making short swords out of stone. Can also create a lot of value in your fort, so that you get a lot of migrants from the home civilization, and a lot of invasions maybe early, but we don't care about that. We'll deal with it. Yeah, you can see the trees here, and we can actually go all the way down over here. So this is the bottom part of the map. This is the total bottom that we can actually see. We're actually not that far from a beach that I would have liked to get on the map, but it's just too far. It was like 9 tiles, and if you do a huge embark area, this is 3.3 times 5. If you do a huge embark area, you can get loads of problem with FPS. The FPS level goes down a lot. We are already gonna have trouble with that later on when we have more dwarves, more livestock and whatever, and sieges, but we'll get to that eventually. Yeah. Okay, so I jumped over the embark thing. I think there's enough of that on YouTube, and enough explanation, and it's also the easiest part of the game, I find, where things actually make okay sense. So let me show you a little bit about what I brought with me. Zooming in on them, F1 is default set to where your dwarves are, where your wagon has arrived on the map. And let's do you can see the dwarves here. You can use V, which brings up the X, so you move it around with the arrows, and you can see that I have a woodcutter here, and you can see it up here. There's a miner. There's another miner. So I added, I think it's let's press U, where you see all of the dwarves. I added 4 miners and 3 woodworkers. They all have some extra skills. I mean, the woodworker here has carpentry, cooking. This woodworker has carpentry. This has brewery and carpentry. This miner, siege engineer, and this building designer. Where are the other miners? There's one here. You have to, if they are standing on top of each other, you have to press V again to see the one below. A mason, and this one is our doctor. This is not a very standard type of embark profile, you know, the dwarves that you bring. I actually am trying something new, both because I want to do a lot of digging, and I want to cut down as many trees as possible. It's a little bit of a petty way of getting back at the elves, you know, just for good time's sake. but also because it actually it gives them skill very fast and gives them good stats very fast. It's something useful. Can use wood and stone for a lot of useful things that we need in the start. What else? Yeah, and then there's also the thing that you can embark with 7 peasants and then just enable the labor for whatever that you want them to be able to do. So if I go on each dwarf here, let's say I go on this one. No, let's choose this guy. Woodcutter, carpenter. Let's say I want him to be able to do building designing. That's the architecture. So I press P and I press L. And here you see the lists where you navigate through them with plus and minus on the keypad or whatever. And you can see he has not mining. He has some. It's a little bit lighter gray. This one means he has some of the woodworking sub menu items, but not all. So carpentry, wood cutting, escape goes back. Let's say I want him to be able to make crossbows as well, just if I need any. There's healthcare. Let's keep that on. Then there's the hauling, which is a big part of Dwarf Fortress. Maybe a little bit too big. Sometimes it seems a little bit like a hauling simulator because you need to move a lot of stuff around, and yeah, it is what it is. I mean, let's keep that on. Then other jobs. Here you see architecture. Let's put that on. There's cleaning, lever operation, road building, wall construction, and construction removal. These two are new, I think. They were just added to Dwarf Fortress recently, where Toady made it so that everyone can build construction, roads and wall floors. They don't need masonry to do it, which he did before, or carpentry, depending on if it was stone or if it was metal. No, stone or wood. If it was metal, then you had to have blacksmithy, I think, or something like in metal crafting. So that's nice. I don't know actually if it's metal, if they can still do it. I haven't tried that. We'll try it later. Yeah, so this is basically how you just add the labors to your dwarves, what you want them to do, or yeah, so they are just enabled for a dwarf, and then the way it works is that you designate jobs. Let's say you designate some trees to be cut down, then everyone who has wood cutting would start going to chop that wood down. If they have, if they can find an axe, if they don't have an axe, or if they can find an axe. So I brought, of course, 3 axes, 3 copper axes, as it were. And the same for the mining. The mining, you designate areas where you want to, so enable mining, where you want to be able to dig. You want to dig it out, and if someone has mining and they have a pickaxe or a pick, they will go and dig it out. But let's see how that works. So I'm just gonna disable hauling for all the miners, because I don't really like them to be part of the hauling teams. I mean, later on we'll see how that works with more dwarves and all that, but it's just for miners, they're deep underground often, and if they have to go down and pick up a little thing and then move it 5 tiles and then go all the way back down, it's a lot of waste. So we don't want them to do that. Yes, architecture, building. I think I might also just remove this, but keep the architecture on. Let's keep this on him. Then we'll have one guy who will help building. Or will we? Nah, we won't. So we take another miner. Let's see, where are we? No. There's another miner. No hauling. No other jobs. There's another miner. No hauling. Oh yeah, sorry, this is... You either go in by selecting enter and then you can deselect or select each one in the submenu, or you can press shift and enter and you enable or disable all of them at once. It's very useful. The woodworker can keep hauling all he wants, but he's the expedition leader as well. I guess it's because he's the doctor, so he's the smartest, surest. Yeah, so that's done actually. Normally I use a program that comes with the starter pack, which I'm also using here. The starter pack makes a lot of things easier when you're new to the game, and also if you're not. There's a lot of things that's easier to edit and disable and enable features of the game and turn things up and down. And then the tile sets makes it a lot easier to install the tile sets and use them. And then there are utilities with it, and utilities are one of the most useful is Dwarf Therapist. I won't use it now. I will use it later. But now I'll use the interface just because, or else we don't learn anything, do we? No, but it's good to know how to do it in the game, because Dwarf Therapist might not work on the newest versions and all that. So to know how it works in game is very useful. But when you have a lot of dwarves, say 100, 200, even 50 or even 20, having a layout like the Dwarf Therapist utility is just awesome, and there's nothing beats it. Makes it so easy or a lot easier to manage your fortress and not get bogged down in micro management. Oh yeah, here we can see the gold, but as you can see when I click K and look here, it's on, this is open space, so it's actually down here, one below. We can just see through the leaves here. That's the multi level, which is very useful. I can go all the way up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5 levels above I can see. It also makes it a little bit confusing sometimes if I try to do. Oh, I can actually see it with V, but K I can't. Funny. Okay, interesting. Can also click with the mouse. This is a DF hack thing. DF hack is also part of the starter pack. DF hack is also fantastic for a lot of things. I won't use it that much in this unless you see it, unless it's a part of the interface, which it is in many cases actually. So let me just zoom up a bit here, because we want to get started, and I want to start by designating this whole area here to just cut down the trees. So I press D for designations, T, oh it's already selected, for chop down trees. And then I use this, it's hard to see, isn't it? It's up here though. You can see the little cross there. So I'm gonna designate all this area to be cut down. The reason I'm not doing it, full on, just that I'm a bit careful with it, is that, like you see this, let's go closer. that way. See this one here. Oh, I got it. Where are we? Here, follow the X. So let's deselect that one again by choosing X and then T back to chop down trees. Go down one. This is the base of the tree where you have to cut it, right? Up here you can still cut it here. But as far as I know, it's dangerous. For the dwarf cutting it. So let's not do that. I mean, it might not be anymore, it might have been fixed, but we don't want to. You really don't want to risk it. And actually, let's just cut them down here at their base. I've had all sorts of accident with dwarves cutting these, because these trees are multi-level. They used to be just one level and one log when you cut them. With the multi-level trees, which is of course awesome and it looks great, especially with the tile sets here. Sometimes you get logs that fall on the dwarves that cut the tree down, and I've actually had one being completely killed in the start of a fortress. Yeah, I guess it was, you know, maybe there was still some evil elven spirit in it, something. Yeah, this is here. This is gonna be a good chunk in the elven pride of this area, isn't it? Let's cut this one too. Yeah, just can wait with the rest here. So let's zoom out a bit here so you can see all the black ones. All this area has now been designated for tree removal. No tree left behind is our policy. So let's see. Unpause the game by pressing space bar. Let's see what happens. So you can see up here the number of idlers. That means the people, the dwarves that are not doing anything. You can also see the date, 100 years, 15th of the first month. That's when we start the game. And down here, just to show that now, is our happiness meter. That's also very useful. You want happy dwarves, or you can get into trouble. They throw tantrums, they fight, they break things, and then you can get the famous tantrum spirals, which has killed many a fort. So now you can see here, let's press U, you can easily see what there are 4 people not doing anything, 3 felling trees. Just as planned, the woodworkers are felling trees. Even if I wanted more felling trees, I wouldn't be able to yet, because I only have 3 axes. So that's how it is. You can see that these are currently in the progress of being felled, because you can see the little dash on them. Don't know if we can see anything in the tree cutting menu. No, but that's fine. Let's just unpause a bit. You can see that they're at it, the 3 woodworkers. And there we go. Splash. That's really pretty nice. We get a lot of logs out of these. Yeah, amazing amount. It's brilliant. Good for our wooden industry. Yeah, I'm zooming up now. Okay, so we need to get the miners working too, right? And yeah, so let's. The wagon is actually right here. Great. What's this? A worm. Okay, I hope they don't. It's not something we brought. Okay, it's just a vermin. It's green, it's usually vermin. We brought some roosters or some chickens, and we bought some goats. And I've actually changed a little bit of the vanilla game to have goats be able to goats be able to be trainable and be pets. Just because, really, it's more dwarvish, I think, than dogs. Even though dogs are also great to have. We have 2 dogs, one of each kind gender, so they can mate, breed, and get all kinds of small dogs. Also a kitten, yeah. And a horse and water buffalo. I think they pulled the wagon. Or let's see you. You can also see the pets and livestock here. You can see that there's an osprey and an eagle as well. This is the life on the map, and this is already dead and missing. Yeah, you're still young. Let's see where let's not do that yet. Let's get these diggers, the miners working. So we go up to the plateau again here, and I think we're gonna go for something where we dig down a staircase first. That's usually what everyone does. It's D, J to dig down. Well, basically, let's just take a second. Dwarf Fortress is about survival first and foremost. It's a little bit like Minecraft, which incidentally is also has been inspired by Dwarf Fortress and other games. So survival is a big part. You have to get ready for the onslaught of civilizations and sieges and beasts and everyone coming to steal from you or kill you or annihilate you. It could either be wars with the other civilizations, or it could be beasts or undead or anything. Everything wants to kill you in Dwarf Fortress, almost. Maybe not the wild beasts we have, like eagles and stuff. They're not usually they're usually benign. You can have some other wildlife like lions, crocodiles that will attack your dwarves if you're not careful. Elephants, of course. Elephants. If you kill one of theirs, never kill an elephant. Yeah, so you want to get away from the open and away from protection, inside protection. You want to have defense, you want to have security, you want to go underground with a lot of stuff. You don't necessarily have to, but we're dwarves after all, we're not humans. We can try to, I can try and do a human like fort at some point where you build above ground only. It's an interesting challenge, but it's not dwarven as such, so we'll not do it here. So, and then you need to get food production running, you need to have the defense, you need to get booze production running, and you need to build a lot of other things that you need to survive, like beds, tables, chairs, all kinds of things. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So the first things first are just digging the areas you want to use, or making room for the areas you want to use. So here you can see, I think this is a nice area where we'll just dig down here. And I like to leave this one open. I know a lot of people do it like this as well. I've seen Captain Doug do it. I'll link to him in my profile here. Because I think the more the merrier who does Dwarf Fortress. He's doing some streaming again, and I enjoy it. And there are others I enjoy as well. I'll link to them as well. The more the merrier. The more people who are to get into this excellent game and support Toady for, as far as I'm concerned, the better. Because he really deserves it. It's an excellent game. It's a brilliant game and a very hard game. So here we are, downstairs, 8 of them. And then we'll do an up downstairs I. So we'll do this up downstairs here. You can do one level at a time, or you can designate one level like this and then go down. So 1, 2, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say we go 10 levels down. And then we do upstairs here. And this middle area, I prefer to leave it empty or not dug out. Some people prefer to have it dug out so they can use it for statues and stuff to make the dwarves happy. That's great, but I prefer to have a pillar. I prefer to build in a way that seems what do you say, realistic? Not always realistic maybe, but like it's something that could actually happen. So we unpost, and there we go. Let's zoom in a bit. You can see which ones are actually being dug out here. Goes pretty fast. There we go. So these spaces, I'm using the mouse now, you can use the K as well. Don't know if it's easier, it probably is. You can see here that says downward stairway up here. And here you can see it as well. Silty clay up down stairway. And then this is a wall. There are some roots here that will, I think they will disappear when we cut down the tree here, so let's just leave that for now and see what there's clay here. We're cutting down into that clay wall. Oh, obsidian already. Yeah, this we didn't get to yet. We'll just leave them going for a while. So we let's zoom out a bit again, so we can see when they're done with their job, we can see that they will start idling up here. So up here we can see the trees go down. Actually, if I zoom out, you can even see it when they fall down. Let's see if we can see that. There we go. There's another one. There's so many trees in this map, it's insane. Well, the elves will probably have a problem with this, but we don't care. I mean, we don't want to instigate something yet. We want to be strong enough, but we're certainly not happy with them. The only thing that we find them good for are exotic pets and wild animals that have been made into pets, or not domesticated but tamed, and we can buy them from them and even make them into our pets, or make them into or we can even breed them, or we can make them into guards, or whatever we want really. But that's sometimes the only way you can get those kind of animals, if you're not on a map where they are. And yeah, I mean, we won't have any lions here, for instance, I think. Anyways, what we have, eagles, ospreys, that's it for now. So let's see, we had some announcements, you saw that, and that's A, you can see A for announcements, and this means that we struck galena. Galena is a metal, or an ore, that you can melt into silver. Probably also something else, but at least silver I know for sure. But that's nice. And we saw now we have some idlers. It means that we almost finished digging the stairwell. And here we have basalt. The thing is, when you dig in stone, there's a chance that you'll get a boulder out of it. And the boulder you can use for building anything out of stone. And that's pretty much your stone industry. So here, what is this? Basalt. There are no rocks here, so this didn't yield any stone. This yielded some basalt. Obsidian, yielded 3 boulders of obsidian. It looks really good with this tile set. I really like that. Yeah, so I have an obsidian pillar here. It's a wall now, but it's kind of a pillar. It's really nice. And what's here? That's a clay wall. Clay doesn't yield any boulders, I think. And I think also that the better your miners are, the higher skill level they are, the bigger chance there is for a boulder. I'm not sure, but I think so. It seems like it anyway. The quicker they mine anyway, the quicker they are, the labor, the quicker it's done. The quicker the jobs are done. And yeah, so you can see he's an adequate miner, this guy. He doesn't actually need to. You don't need to have any skill in anything to do it. It just takes longer, and they'll start getting better at it. So you can enable mining on someone who doesn't have it, and they'll just start doing it, which is useful. So what are we gonna do? We need some space down here for stockpiles of wood and stockpiles of food and booze and plants and all kinds of stuff. So let's not use the first level. We have the roots here still, but it's not because of that. It's because we may want to channel to dig a moat or something up here. So we'll just leave the top area as it is, and then we'll use the area below that. Yeah. So what I'm thinking about doing, I think I'm just thinking about creating some big rooms. I mean, people have all kinds of, their way of doing things, and I have that too, I guess. I'm trying to be a little bit new, try to do something new. So we do this. You see, I use this a lot. Where I use shift, hold down shift and use the arrows. Makes you able to do 10, jump 10 tiles at one time instead of one. So if I designate this area, instead of going 1, 1, 1, I can just go 10, 10, 10, 10. It's the whole area here for digging, and then remove the pillar in the middle. We don't want to dig that out. We can even leave these pillars, just to have something holding up the roof. Why not? Yeah, that was the first level. So we can actually, let's just go up here. Let's do the next level and the next level, and yeah, that should be fine. So 3 levels, and then remove these and use them for some nice pillars. So that's that. Let's see what happens now. So they'll start digging. Oh, you saw they dug one here. Started digging down here and down here. That's something that has been a problem with Dwarf Fortress always. They go from the top right area where they can dig, and then the algorithm then searches through that way around, clockwise or whatever, and it makes it so that if you dig like this, they'll go up and down between these levels all the time. So if I had dug like a 50-50 room, and they would be digging out here, oh, then they have to go down here, dig out here, go up here, dig out. That's a lot of waste, and that's always been a little bit problematic. So you have to dig one level at a time, or designate burrows where some dwarves would stay in that burrow until they were done, and then you change them to another burrow. But there's a new thing that totally implemented very recently. Is this you see it down here? It's the priority system, and it's brilliant. It's such a lifesaver for many things. So here you see that when I start moving away from 4, using the minus and plus again, I'm going. You can see the designation normal is 4, That's the priority. So if I do 2, they should do that first. And let's try it out. Let's see what happens if I convert all this to... Oh, there we go. 2. Let's remove those again. And let's do 3 down here. So go up 1. I'm not using 1 because I like to keep 1. Just find it, you know, keep 1 for emergency digging. That's what's this one? No. Did they dig that one out? I guess they did. Ah well, no biggie. So here we have 3, then we go down and we have 4. We don't need to do that again. So this would work. Let's see what happens. We unpause, and they only dig on the first floor. This is so useful. It's amazing. And actually, it's very Dwarf Fortress has this way of sometimes looking very. It has a calming effect, you know. You look at it and it's almost Zen-like. You can see things slowly going away, changing colors, becoming a shape, different shapes, moving in from one shape to another. It's really beautiful. So while we're digging down here, I'm thinking of oh, so we're getting far with the wood chopping here. You can see you get these. It's not like there weren't a woodcutter before, but it's just now this guy, he may have been novice before and he's adequate. So this has become his main skill. That means that he is now a woodcutter. So if he started doing carpentry for a long time or a while, and he would get above adequate in that, he would become a carpenter. It's just, you know, that's what it is. They get unless you give them certain unless you give them your own title, they'll get the title from what they're best at or what they are. It could be a mayor or it could be soldier, mace dwarf. Sorry. This is funny that they have dodging. You can see it from dodging the tree when it falls down. I guess. Brilliant. So we want to do something about this because when you start, we have a lot of worms around here. It's funny. Eat them, eat them. When we start, the area around the wagon is automatically a meeting area in a way. It's where the dwarves will go if they're idle or if they're not, you know, just exploring. They sometimes do that. It's the default place to go, and it's the same for the animals actually. So what we normally do here is to get everyone to hang out, I would say, in an area where we can actually see them. We'll do it here. It's I'm using the activity zone. It's I think, isn't it? I, yeah. You have the activity zone menu. So you make these zones. Let me just remove it again, then you can see. Oh. Stop removing. Let's do it again. Oh, we have to place it now. I can either place it as a rectangle or as flow. Flow. Let's try the flow. What's that one? Oh, we can just do a huge area here. Nice. Plus minus makes it bigger. Let's try the other one. Flow. Is that the same thing? I think it's when, yeah, so if you have walls or natural boundaries, it will flow with that. That's neat, so you don't have to, if you have like an odd shape or something. But I prefer to, for this one I prefer to use the rectangle, just so I have a bit more control over where they're going. So here, we'll do it here. So this area, activity zone number 1. So you can see we can choose between water source. It says 0 because there is no water source here. Fishing, same thing. Gather and pick fruit. I don't know why it says 59. I don't think there are. It's probably because there's 59 tiles. I think the gather fruit thing is just if there is something inside the tiles where they can gather fruit from, like a tree or from the ground, bushes, any gather plants, herbalism dwarf that you have, the labor gather plants, they will do that. We'll see that later. Actually, I want to do it on this map because it's actually a very good way to get your food up, your food stockpile up, going fast at the start of the game. So it's very useful. You can brew it into, them into all kinds of drinks or make food out of them or whatever, and your dwarf can eat them as they are often. So it's very useful. But for now, we'll do this meeting area. And that's the only thing we'll do, I think. Yeah. We don't need to do a pen up pasture here, because they can just, any one of the animals, here they come. Dogs first, quickest. Any of the animals who are grassing animals, they will just grass where they are if they can. If they can't, then after a while they'll get hungry and you'll see a small, I think in the normal ASCII game it's a brown down arrow for when they're hungry, I think, and they'll die if you don't get them to somewhere where they can actually grass. They probably don't say that they're grassing or anything, but yeah, they are. And you can see there's grass here under it, the dense sawgrass. So yeah, that's good. That should be fine here. Later on we'll make separate areas for each of them if yeah, we'll probably do that so that, you know, they can mate in peace and stay with their own kind and not get into fights. We haven't had any fights. As you can see, any fights that happen on the map will happen. There will be a report and it will be under R. We have to keep an eye on that actually. It started raining. Dwarves caught in the rain. You can also see the animals are more agitated. Dwarf caught in the rain will get an unhappy thought of that. You can still see we have 7 dwarves that are very happy, so we don't have a problem here yet. But if someone's already down or unhappy, it's not the best thing to be caught in the rain. But after all, it's only rain, so we can check it out actually. So press V again, and then you can see we have this guy selected, and you press Z. Then you see this guy's name in Dwarven and in normal English, I guess, woodcutter. And then here you can follow. I don't know if that's DF hack or not, but it's very useful. You can follow a dwarf by pressing F1, and then you press enter, and you see his thoughts. And what was the other thing? Preferences, yeah. So caught in the rain, annoyed, but satisfied with working. So overall very happy, seems. And everything else about them here, it's fun to read sometimes. We'll not go into that now though. It's always fun to check it out. So they have a lot of dwarves have very odd, to say the least, traits, or you know, she dreams of mastering a skill. That's pretty normal. Some have, you know, wanting to rule the world or dominate the world or whatever. I haven't really checked it out in a while, so we'll see as we go along. Let's just check the other thing that was here. Relationships. So they have 2 relationships with the deity. deity, which we can also see by pressing V. So it's a deity of the Hot Lances. Hot Lances is our civilization. So we have these deities that's associated with jewels. And this one, darkness, night, dreams and nightmares. I guess that's our history playing into that. We pretty much have, yeah, our civilization decimated by more than half, 2/3 maybe. I'll show you, you can see some of the images. There was one fortress where 251 dwarves was killed in battle against the elves. So yeah, we have a grudge. So friends, long-term acquaintance. That's from being on the wagon, you know, wagon riding, slow travel here is good for friendships. And here on the Y, you can customize nickname and first name. A lot of people use this to name the dwarves things, because if they want to name them like Carpenter or something, or Woody, because like now it's easy to see. We only have 7 dwarves. We can easily see what they're doing and what they're good at. But often, let's say we have 200 dwarves here, and they will often have the same first name, or very like first names, and you cannot remember all the Abens of the world, so it can be hard. That's where Dwarf Therapist, the utility, comes in. It's very, very useful for that. So you don't need to nickname dwarves. I try to just do it out. I mean, it's more fun to nickname dwarves if they've done something spectacular, either stupid or spectacularly fun or courageous. Or why are these worms following us? Don't like that. That's a little bit weird. We have worms. Oh, we're good on the way down here. See, we have all these obsidian stones. We have some quartzes, clay cavern floor, and of course the lowest level here. Here we have also silty clay floor and clay cavern floor. I guess there might be a problem, let me just see, of making farms down here. I don't know. Can they be built on this kind of... Let's just build this one to see. Do we actually have a grower? I don't know. I have no idea. But we'll try and build this farm plot. It's D. No, it's not D. It's B for the building menu. P for the farm plot. You can change the width and height, and then place with enter. And then go out here in the main menu and press Q. If you press Q, you can see if a workshop or something, machine or whatever, this farm, what it's doing. And you can sometimes do the commands of what should be going on at that place, workshop or farm, whatever. So now you can see it needs farming and construction is inactive. So someone who has farming needs to construct it. And I don't know if we have any who has farming. So let me just grab a guy here. The brewer. Yeah, why not? So I'll go down to farming and add this farming. So he should do that whenever he's tired of doing whatever he's doing now. I don't want to stop him chopping wood. It's not urgent that we find out if we can actually grow something down there or not. But yeah, we need to find out. I don't know if you need soil. Actually, yeah, I'm not that good with farming. I don't like it that much, but we have to kind of do it to get enough food, I think. Oh, and while I'm at it, there's something I want to do. What is it? It's O, standing orders. I always do this on new forts. Let's see, what is it? We have all these kind of things in here, that kind of rules that your dwarves follow. So there's the refuse. I want to gather refuse from outside. Just because we're outside now, and we'll have some presence outside. It basically, I can show what it means later. And this, the forbid orders are very important, I think, to, yeah. You just want to avoid. You want to avoid people going to pick up any items left by the dead, either your dead or goblins or whatever. Because often they will happen in a fight or during a siege or something. Let's say a goblin you kill a goblin. It has a really nice sock that some guy just really want, or or some guy just decides, oh, I want to drag this guy to the refuse pile or the corpse pile or right now, and that's a recipe for disaster. You'll go out into a dangerous area maybe and get killed, or leave a door open, or all kinds of bad things. So we want to forbid that. Did I forget something? I don't want all dwarves to harvest either. I only want farmers as H. And oh yeah, there's the workshop orders, also a silly thing. Auto loom old thread. I don't like that because we need some thread. Auto collect webs I also don't like, because where there are webs there are normally spiders. So I want to have a little bit more control there about when we collect webs and when we don't. The others are great. The others are actually pretty good. Activity zone orders, it's where you want them to drink or fish. So we have booze now, they will drink that. If they become wounded or sick, they want water. Also, if they want to clean themselves, they want a water source. And we need to find that actually. It's the same with fishing. They need a place to fish, if we want to fish, of course. And let's just go over here. There's water on the map. You can see it up here. Is this stagnant water? I don't think it's the same with this. Let's go down. Murky pool. I don't think they want to drink that or bathe in it. So we probably have to dig down into the caves and try and find water that way, I think. So the initial settings for Dwarf Fortress is that the default settings, I would say. There's always water, I think, down in the caves at some point. If there's no river or brook or lake, or which there's not on this map, you have to dig down to find water. Yeah, I think they can actually drink from the pools, but they just get unhappy thoughts because it's not that nice. It's not that the water's not that nice. Oh yeah, and there was something about this reports. Yeah, these water buffaloes. We have one water buffalo. It looks like a troll actually. This guy here. They often get into trouble with other animals. They're troublemakers. So we keep an eye on him, and yeah, if he is fighting anyone, we need to separate them or slaughter someone. We'll also, we'll slaughter. What happened? Oh, it's just a kitten going around there. We'll slaughter whatever we don't need usually. Oh, see here now. That means they're thirsty. It's blue arrow. You can see they're going for drink. So the drinks are all here in the wagon. You can see them actually on there. There are some, and also this is the effect thing. I think you can see down in the right corner. You can't see all of it though. But since the wagon is treated like a building, You can use the T menu to see what's in it. You can use T for every item that has anything in it, actually. Like you can even see it on a bridge. You can see what the bridge is made of, and here you can see what the wagon is made of wood. 3 pieces of wood. And then you can see anvil, beer barrels, seeds, meats. I'm pressing plus and keeping it down. This is all our food and stuff here. We want to move this indoors or away from here, of course. As soon as we have everything dug out down there. But for now, we'll just leave it. For now, we'll just wait until we have dug stuff out. Meanwhile, we can maybe go through a little bit of what's on the menu here. So there's the announcements, which we've seen already. You can go up and down. Sometimes you can zoom to the location. You can see down below when the announcement was made. What else? Then you have B, the building menu, where you build most of the stuff in the game, if not all stuff, I guess. Sorry. And we'll use it later. R for reports. C for civilization. So right now, since we started this fort, yeah, it's a little bit weird. We only know about ourselves as it is until we meet others, until they either come trading or they come visiting or they come visiting with a club, and that's how a lot of them will come. So here you can see this is Vushkubuk. The Hotlands is our civilization. Dwarven, you can press enter to see it, and then you can press tab to go through the menu or go to the different screens. So you can see our outpost liaison, diplomat, king consort, queen, and what else they are. So they have a title and they have a skill work title. Yeah, so these are the people we know from our civilization, the people who are running our civilization at the moment. So you can see we have these baroness, and that's of each of these. I think it's each of these settlements we have actually. I don't know if we have that many. Maybe they have, in the meantime, maybe they have reclaimed an old one that has been destroyed or ruined, or else they might have opened or embarked onto another site. I know for a fact we're only 200 something dwarves in the entire civilization. Historical dwarves. There is this thing that the game does, that there are more dwarves in the game, but the ones that are named and tracked in the history mode, there's like 250 something, or was when we started. But I'll show that in the images that I'm linking to. So trade information, this will come up later when we'll meet with the trade caravan. Trade caravans, they come every autumn from the mountain home, from the dwarven mountain home, the civilization. If your civilization has died out during world generation, and you choose that civilization as your mother civilization, they will actually, I don't think you'd get any, because there's no way you can get any dwarves coming. I'm not so sure right now actually, but then also you'll have trouble supplying your embark, because you don't have any source of the stuff you want to bring. I think so anyway, maybe just generic stuff, I'm not sure, but it's definitely a tougher start. Oh, so we actually made a farm plot here. and it seems to work. Let's just put plum helmets. This means that we just during spring, can you see there, we are planting plum helmets. This is just for testing. I just want to see if we can actually have a farm plot here, but it seems so. I don't think you can build a farm plot on this. Yeah, you can't build it here. Mod soil. It seems we can build all over the place here. Okay. I thought we needed to have soil or... Oh, here we can't do it. Okay, this is because this is obsidian. But clay works, or silty clay works fine. Oh, excellent. So that means we'll have to have farms on this level. Or here, which is silly. But so we'll have it up here. Brilliant. Let's just remove this. We don't need it really. So I press X, and I go Q onto it, and then I press X to remove it. And then someone with farming will come and remove it eventually. Actually, a good thing to show you is J, the jobs. This is all the jobs that you have lined up, designated or lined up. Not, you won't have the individual tree or the individual digging tile, but you'll have everything from building stuff to building bridges or cooking food or whatever. And you can see which dwarf is assigned to it. And here you can see destroy building inactive on the farm plot. And then you can view the job by pressing V. I think you can go to the building by pressing B here, or cancel the job. But let's go to it by pressing B. So here, it's very useful tool. But let's start the time again. So we got through civilization. Designations I've already shown. This is all mining, chopping down trees, gather plants, move stone, engraving stone, fortifications, tracks, engraving. Remove construction is also in here. And you have B, where you can reclaim or forbid items. So forbid is what I said, everyone who dies will be forbidden for the dwarves to touch, and then you can reclaim them once you want to actually not touch but remove them or take their items or whatever. So it's a way to keep your dwarves from taking items or using. You can even use it on stuff that you don't want them to use, I think. And you can also choose it to melt items or remove melts, dump items. Dump is can only be done if you have a garbage area designated by the activity zone. And hide and unhide. Okay, I never used that, but I guess some people do. What was the other one? Traffic area. This is to use if you want. Let's say we all have normal traffic everywhere as it is. If you want a high traffic area, let's say here. So this is high traffic area. This is your staircase. It means the dwarves they will prefer this to the normal areas. So let's just do that actually. Let's do the normal for the pillar. This is not something that you need to do at the start at all. You don't even need to do it when it's not the start. It's more for restricting certain areas, like if you want to restrict this tile, let's say you want to restrict it, so it has this, it means that the dwarves will never go on it because they'll never walk on it when they have high around it, unless they really have to, or unless they're pushed over into it by something. But yeah, it's not, you don't really need to use it, but it can be useful. And another thing that it does is that it helps with FPS, with the what's that? The speed of the game later on. If you use this, it can be efficient to mark all the big hallways, the big traffic areas. Mark them as as the high priority traffic area, because then the dwarves will use those preferably, and it will speed up the calculations that are made for. Oh, someone's not working now. Oh, it's one of the woodcutters, so I guess we're through all this. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that yeah, it's the pathfinding. The pathfinding algorithm will have an easier time in a way if you have some high traffic areas, and it can speed up the game a little bit. Okay, so we've cut a lot of wood, and we're nearing the end of this batch of wood cutting. So what should we do? Should we continue? I mean, you can see when I zoom up, the huge area we have removed. It's enormous. It's such a beautiful thing to cut down all this stuff. So we have a choice to make. Do we want them to start cutting down more trees, or do we want them to start building something with the wood, or do we want them to do something else entirely? I think we want to have them build something actually. I think we want to start building some fortification or some walls. Oh, what's this then? Sorry about it. I think we want to build some security. We can also start hauling in our stuff. That might be useful actually. Yeah, let's do that first. I'll just this is because it's treated as a building. I can remove the wagon as well. It gives me these 3 wooden pieces that the wagon is built from. It's a little bit cheaty, I guess. You know, in a way, you get the wood to use for anything you want, but that's the way it works, and it's useful. It can be very useful on maps where you have no wood, with no trees. So at least you start with those 3, and you can make, you know, maybe 3 items out of that, 3 beds, whatever. Can be very useful. You see one of these are green. This is because the reeds are starting to cover them. Actually a nice touch. You can also see prickleberries. There's a lot of berries, and yeah, I want to gather this once we have the other items inside. So let's start designating some areas here. There's a lot of stone actually. Let's say we start by building our workshops. That's B for the building menu and W for workshops. These are the workshops that I guess you use the most. There are others that they're not workshops, but you can still produce stuff in them that are in the mother menu here. But let's build what we really need, which is kitchens and stills, and farmer workshops. I think these are the normal ones for food production and yeah, plant and treatment of plants and brewing and stuff that we really need. Let's just start with building a kitchen. So you can see you get this when you've chosen it. You can choose where it's gonna go. I forget what it is with these green and light green. I think one of the colors mean that you cannot walk through them, that the dwarves have to go around them, but yeah, it's not important. Let's build it here. So we can choose then to build it out of obsidian, basalt, or wood. What would the most dwarven thing be? Yeah, I think it's obsidian, isn't it? I know this is gonna make the buildings or our the fortress, the value of the fortress shoot up a little bit using obsidian, because obsidian is an economic stone, which means you can use it for something else. It means also that it's double the worth, I think, of normal stone, or even more. So it's a boost in the value of the fort, which will bring baddies and also bring more migrants. But we don't care. We're dwarves. We'll do what we want. So that's one kitchen. Let's just do another kitchen. I would like to have 2 of each. Let's just build it right next to it, actually. Let's build it here. I like to have at least 2 of each. Some people like 3 of each. As a starter. I don't like it as a starter. I mean, we're not gonna stay around here, I think. So I'm building stills as well, out of obsidian, just because we can. And let's do a farmer's workshop as well, down here. Oh, what? Yeah. Obsidian, farmer's workshop, obsidian. Okay. So I'm escaping out, and then you can press Q and look at them and see that they're waiting for any workshop farming, these 2. Stills, any brewing, kitchen, any cooking. So it needs a chef to, it's a little bit funny that it needs a chef to actually build this. It should just be, a carpenter or a woodworker or a stoneworker. But anyway, that's what it is. So let's see what happens. So the guy who just got out of a job is now constructing a building. Let's see what it is. We go down to the building. Let's see on post and see what he's gonna do. Is he gonna do anything? Oh, here he comes. So you can see here he has. This is V, and I can press I for his inventory, and you can see his entire inventory. Butak Bootwinds, and he has a copper battle axe, of course. He's chopping away, and his entire wardrobe, or on him. It is actually his entire wardrobe. They don't have anything extra as we arrive here. They might have that later when they have their own spaces. And then an obsidian block, or a boulder. It's not a block. You can make blocks out of stone and wood and metal to build with, which increases the value and sometimes increases the way that they look, or that they their names, like a smooth wall instead of just a wall or something like that. So it can be useful and look good. But anyway, we just use obsidian. This is quick. He's having water on him from the rain. While we're here, actually, just let's look at. So there's G for his general, I guess. You can see his skills, and you can deselect some of them. So you dodging is going under combat here. Anyway, inventory, preferences, where you can select the labor, and you can give him work animals, and you can assign him to squads. It's military squads. We won't do that yet. And then you can see W is his status. If he's wounded, you can also see here if he's hungry or unhappy or thirsty or something. Set, that's where we have been before. Relationship, thoughts. He can also follow by, well, let's try that actually. We'll press F1. Following him. Can also do it here by pressing F. I'll just tab in to remove the. So it's just nice sometimes to see it, what it actually says over there in the menu part. So you can follow him now. You can see I'm not doing anything. I'm just following him around. He's building the still, and then he's going for another boulder and building the other still. And then he's destroying a farm, he's going outside. What's he doing now? He's not doing anything. So he's just, I don't know why he's going there. It's probably because the wagon is there. Which incidentally is not there anymore. You can see everything splattered out here on the ground. So we need to start moving this indoors. Especially, we don't want it to be wet or something like that. It's bad. So here we have the still, another still. You can press T here as well. So you can see it's made of obsidian. And you can see here obsidian can be used for sharp blades. It's not really that important. I'm just showing it so you can see what they're made of. You can't see how well they are made here. That's something that I don't know if we can actually. No, T is not that one. B, no, N. No, that's another thing. J is jobs. G not. L no. Okay, I don't know. I forgot if you can see that. It's just no, I don't think you can. But if a building is made nicely and or a workshop is built in a way that dwarves admire it as being built well, then they'll get a happy thought from it. So it's worth having nice workshops as well. Yeah. So this has just been forward because it was used as a farm plot. So now we have. This is not being done yet because I don't think we have anyone who can do it. And the kitchen has been made and the other kitchen is here being made. Let's build farm plots now. Yeah. I think we'll do it. So we change it by pressing U and K. I think, yeah, U for up and K. Let's do it 3 times 5. And let's have it. No, let's do it the other way around actually. Like 3 times 5 this way. So then we have all the farms up here. And then we can, underneath there, here we can have the seeds. And then underneath that we can have the plant stockpiles. Actually, then let's do them by 3x4 instead, because then there's more space for that. How many can we have here? So 1, 2, 3. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's fine. It's not like we need to build 6 farm plots. It just, especially this size. But why don't we just do it? It doesn't really matter. Oh well, it matters, but you know, we can also make a space between them. Maybe that would be nice. Nah. Oh, that was beds. We don't have beds yet. So 3 here. Oh, I keep doing that. It's because I keep pressing the B as in building. So let's do this from the other side. So we might have a middle area. P again. And then that was too much. There we go. P. Last one. The reason I'm doing 6 is because the dwarven. I think we have 7 or 6 different kind of seeds sorts as a dwarven farming seeds. And incidentally, they're not all that useful, all of them, but just I would like to show them, show off the different farms and to try to use all of them and see what you can actually do with them. So these farms will be made by the farmer. And so where do we put the seeds? We can either put them so that they're underneath each of these on their own. I actually prefer that. Some people just have a big stockpile with all their seeds, and I don't want that. I want to have small stockpiles for the seeds. So let's do the stockpiles. We haven't done any yet. Where are the stockpiles? I forgot. It's P for stockpiles. And here you can see the different kinds of stockpiles. So we need to do a food one. And it works the same way as doing zones. So basically you just do enter, and then you can select the area. You can select the area you want. So this area, for instance. I don't want that big an area, because seeds don't need more than one tile per seed. So I'll just do one. So that's like this. So you can see it here. And then you press Q to actually go on this one. You can see it's called food stockpile number 1 automatically. I don't think we can change the name of this one. This is DF hack down here. I'm not using that much. Not yet anyway. Up here you can change the settings. You can change the number of barrels. I'm gonna change that with E. So there can only be one barrel, of course, but seeds don't need barrels. Seeds they come in bags, or they just lie on the ground, but they can be put into bags. And bin is also useless here. Wheelbarrow is for moving stuff that is heavy quicker, and it's mostly used for stone, actually, for boulders to put if you want to move those around. Because it can take a long time otherwise for a dwarf, especially one that's not that strong. We'll take from anywhere or links only. That's not something we're going to deal with now. We're just going to change the settings, and then you get to the settings menu, and here it's a lot of information. I'm just going to disable everything. No, I'm not there. If you disable here, everything goes away. If you disable it, no, it's not that. It's block all. There we go. And then I'm gonna go to seeds, and then I'm gonna go and pick the plum helmet one. So I could search for it using S. That's probably a DF hack thing as well, but for now let's just. So this is the most useful dwarven plant. It can be used for cooking or brewing, and you get a lot of seeds out of brewing them. So you can get your food production up quickly. And the dwarves like to eat them as well. That's good. So we have this one, and then we need to do one for pigtails, cave wheat, sweet pot. That's 4. Rock nuts, dimple cup, I think. Yeah, that may be it, but we'll see. So now we have this one. Maybe I should go and check what we actually have here. So you can see the bags here. Let's use K, it's better. You have a plum helmet seed bag. So that should be moved now to the plum helmet seed stockpile. Pigtail fiber bag with nothing in it. Okay. Pigtail fiber thread. Plant barrel. There are some plum helmets that are already plants. here are some cave wheat and dimple cup. So we need sorry, we need some, and sweet pods, that it was, yeah. So we need from some stockpiles for that as well. Yeah, let's just try it out. So that was, sorry, P for stockpile. This should be the middle of the next one. So that's one stockpile there. So 1, 2, 3. No, that's not the middle of that one. It's here. And then 1, 2, 3. There we go. One, and here and here. So now I have to change all of these. If you are a little bit more intermediate, there's it's a very useful command in df hack, which is like a command line interface that is called copy stock. You simply copy an existing stockpile settings and you can easily modify it slightly. Can be quicker. So I'm trying to do the ones there where we want to use for the booze, for the stills. I'm trying to do them over here. I mean, pigtails. Is that what they're called? They are used for pigtail. They're used for, actually they can be used for to make into pigtail thread as well. This can be used to make cloth or thread. Or, yeah, thread of course. And cloth can be used to make into bags. Very useful. Used to make into clothes, which are necessary, or else you'll have naked dwarves all around you. That's dangerous out here. What else? Cave wheat. I don't know if that's actually brewable. I don't even remember what comes out of it. Let's just do the sweet pods. I know they are brewable. Yeah. And then this one. B for block everything. Seeds. Yeah. We can do the cave wheat here. See what happens with that. This Dwarf Fortress, of course, there are so many things in it. You just, you know, you can't remember everything at all times. So I know dimple cup is one. So we have these 4 now. And then I think it's rock nuts and dimple cup. That's the last one. I think so. Let's try that. There we go, dimple cup. Of course it's easier just to do one big stockpile here and then say it's for all the seeds. We could have done that, I guess, you know. Yeah, I don't know if it's easy. I don't like it. It becomes a bit messy, and there's as I saw it last time. Oh, there we go. Rock nuts and sweet pods. Brilliant. It becomes a bit messy where there are several bags with the same things, and I just don't like that. It's just, that's messy to me. I like it like this, where you know what's actually there, and you can see when there's if there are no seeds left. Like say we use all these and we get some plants out of it, which we don't use for anything immediately, we don't get the seeds back. So then there are no seeds here in the sweet spot, and then the bag will probably be used for something else, which is fine. But then we know, oh, we don't have any seeds for it. Fine. And we can quickly go and see how many plum helmets do I have, how many pigtails. Okay, great. Let's wait a little bit more so we get all the farms done. And we get all the seed bags, hopefully. Oh, we have a guy not doing anything. Is that because we don't have the stuff that's in this one? What was it we chose here? Okay, we don't have that. I'm looking with DF hack because it's quicker. It's already being hauled. You see that guy? Yes, there it is. Okay, no problem. It's just because we don't have enough jobs now for everyone. But so there we go. No blinking here anymore means that they're done with all the farm. He's done with all the farm plots. So here you have the farm menu. So this is of course the plum helmet one. You have the food stockpile one. It would be nice if you could just. I know you can name it with. I think you can do it with DF hack, but I don't really want to do it. I just want to leave it as is, so it's easy to show for now. But we can either just select one season at a time. So we have A as spring selected, then B it'll be summer, and you can choose something else. Or you can choose the same. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna. Oh, what am I doing? Change setting. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm trying to actually disable the plum helmet. I can't do that. Ah, I know. It's because you have to use the set command. It's fallow, so you leave it. Fertilize. Yeah, I've never done it. It's using potash to fertilize. First thing, potash for me has always been hard to fabricate or micromanage thing. For me, I don't know if it's like that. So I just haven't bothered. So what we can do here is shift enter, and we can do all seasons at once. This might be a DF hack thing. I don't know. It's so A, B selected already. C for autumn. D. So plum helmets can be farmed. What do you call it? Planted every season. So here we have pigtail, and you can see that they're not available in the spring, but the summer they are. So shift enter, and I can do all of them at once. So B is done, that's summer. C is done. D, no pigtail. So it's only two times a year out of 4. So here we had sweet pots. Let's do shift enter again. B, C, D. Only 2 times a year, spring and summer. So this was K wheat, I think. Yeah, it was. Let's go to summer. K wheat, C, D. So that's B and C, which means summer and autumn. I forgot what's here, so I press K, rock nuts, and then dimple cups. Okay. I think rock nuts are quarry bushes. I don't remember. I think it is. So you can see in the summer, that's where we have we have all the normal dwarven types of seeds. I know there are others you can do underground, but yeah, dimple cups every season. Alright, we'll just do it. I mean, dimple cups is only for dyeing stuff, I think. We'll see. It's just to get them up, to get them planted. Let's see what happens. I think he should start planting now. The farmer. It's probably this guy who's eating. It's not. Gee, yeah. No. Is he? No, he's not. I don't think he's the farmer. Yeah, he is. Okay. So we could either, set everyone as a farmer here, Or we could just let them start hauling stuff in, and I think we'll do that. That would be nice. Then the farmer can get going, and we can just haul stuff in. And what we want to be hauling in maybe I'm doing it a little bit too elaborate here to start. I'm sorry, but if I am, just let me know, okay? So we're gonna do a stockpile here for the plants. And, you know, I could do the whole shebang here. Say, oh, okay, this is for plants. Let's go with it. Why don't we do that? Let's try and do that, just so we make something that is actually simple. Some people don't like it like this, a huge thing. You can see it's up here. It takes barrels as default as the, and that actually uses barrels. Plants use, you can use, if you don't use barrels, you'll only have one plant per tile. So barrels, they'll put them into plants into barrels. There will be a lot. So this is way overkill, but let's do it anyway. Just because we can. Then we can always change it. To something else. So barrels, we can already see this is something we might need a lot of. So we need to get a lot of barrels fabricated soon. And we will. But for now, we'll go on the settings. And then block everything. And then enable all plants. What's that? Enter. No, it's not. It's E. No, it's not. P. Why is it not? It's only kind of half. Okay, whatever. I don't care. As long as they bring the plants here. We can do all fruits and leaves as well. Yeah, let's do that. Leave all that there. So fruit stockpile number 7. That's where we put all the plants. So by having a look at our 2 idlers, it seems like we don't really have any plants yet. Is that true? Meat barrel? I guess so. But let's do. Yeah, let's do the let's do the boost down here as well. So we do a P again, PF, and but we're gonna have a lot of boost, at least at some point. So I'm thinking we'll just do all of this and boost. Why not? If anyone could tell me why not, just let me know. Block that, and then P, all the drinks. And then over on the other side we'll do, I think we'll do everything else that we use for cooking. So we'll block everything. We permit meat, fish, not unprepared fish. I want that separated. Because you need unprepared fish, you need a fishery to actually prepare them. So eggs, fine, they will be used for cooking. Plants we already have. Drinks we already have. Cheese. Can't select that at all. Oh, that's because there's probably nothing in it. Animal cheese. Seeds we have. Fruit we have. Middle plant. Flour, yeah, sure. Bone meal, no. Fat and tallow. I think we'll leave that for somewhere else. Yeah. Paste. No. And cake. I don't know what this is for. I don't think so. Oil. We won't have that much of anything of that. And venom milk. Not really. Fly. Not really. Then you see down here there's a U is prepared food. You can see it lighting up when I press U. We won't have that here either. We'll have that. We'll have that in our closer to where people want to eat. So we don't have anywhere where they, a dining hall or anything yet. So let's see what happens with this. See if they. Oh, now they're busy. And you can see that they're storing items in stockpile. So they're probably hauling the food inside now. Can go up. Yeah, here they come. There we go. Meat barrel, prepared wombat long. This is a bit. This is where it gets a bit confusing. Prepared wombat long is just something that has come out from a butcher, butchering up a wombat. It's not a prepared meal, which is what we can put in that stockpile on its own, and which we're gonna put in the stockpile on its own. A prepared meal has been made in the kitchen, and it's a mix of. It can be a mix of different things, fish, meat, plants, even I think fat. Whatever they use to cook. And oh, you can see here now the farmer has started. He's farming a plot, so he's put 2 rock nuts here and 1 dimple cup here. He's just gonna farm on his own, on his own terms. Whatever he wants to plant, he plants, and that's great. Let's just check these. Dwarven beer barrel, 5 beer, 5 ale, and 4 ale. That probably means that there's been a dwarf there drinking ale already. So this is great. We get everything moved in slowly. Everything goes a bit slower in the start. We are only 7 dwarves, of course, and no battling between the livestock yet. And there's a drake. You might think it's a dangerous drake, but it's not. Where is it? There you go. It's actually just the name of a male duck. It's quite funny, isn't it? Oh, it's because it's not on the same tile. So the female duck and a drake, male duck. The little tip of the hat to Captain Duck, that there are many more ducks in the game, I would say, at this time than there used to be when he did his tutorials. So they're flying up here. I guess they're not. I don't know if they're gonna be frightened of us or not, but yeah. We could try and catch them and domesticate them and breed them, but yeah, we don't really need to. We have plenty. Oh, so here we go. The miners are, of course, not on hauling duty, so when they have finished mining, like they have, as you see here, in good order as well, really nice. They're done with work. And what are they gonna do now? We're gonna do some more. Are we gonna do some more digging, or are we gonna have them create some stuff? And that's always the balance you have, especially when you only have 7 dwarves. I don't think we're gonna dig a lot more now. I think we're gonna. Why are the logs down here? Did it fall all the way down here? Okay. We're lucky it didn't hit anyone on the way. Training our dodging skills. Yeah, so I think we're gonna gonna use the miners to do what they're good at. Let's see. Well, this guy is a siege engineer. I did that for fun. I want to have a siege engineer. I just like it. It's not a very useful thing to have, but it's cool. Of course, they could keep digging and becoming better. You can already see his proficient now, and he was only adequate or novice when we started. So they quickly get better at it, and it's very, very good for for mining out things quickly. Shall we have him build something, or shall we assign him to some kind of craft? They're already building actually. So if I just start building something out of wood or stone, they would start immediately. Well, why don't we do that then? Maybe we should start moving some wood in here. I think I'm gonna do wood on this entire floor. So this is PW. What you can do is actually quite neat. You do the entire floor, and then you remove an area here in the middle. So that's not going to be used for a wood stockpile. I think we're going to use all of it. Why not? I mean, we could make some. Let's cut this out and this out for now, so we can use that for workshops. And let's build some workshops here. So that's B and then W, and then we want something that uses the wood. I'm just bumbling around here. Of course, it is the carpenter you want. I mean, of course, you could easily just place it up here where the wood is, and we could do that, but no, that's not very dwarven. So let's put it here, out of obsidian, of course, and here, obsidian. So there's also a boiler. We can do one of those. Do it here. And what else? Craft Dwarf, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that you can do wood stuff in that. So let's do that out of obsidian as well. And then here we're gonna do the stone stockpile here, I think. So let's we have a lot of obsidian and we have some basalt for now. Let's, we cut it in half. And I know there are many ways to store stone, and there are many ways to store stone in a stupid way. If you make a huge stone stockpile and you have a lot of people hauling stone, it's gonna take them a long time, so you're gonna take up a lot of dwarves all the time, because yeah, it takes a long time. Normally it can be, or often it can be from very far away, so it's not always that useful, to be honest. But since we have so much stone here right now, I think we're just gonna start by putting 2 stockpiles here. Let's see, did we do that? Like that. So stone. No, that's not the one. Yes, stone. There we go. And actually we want to have this area free too, and this one, because there are more things you can do with stone than there is with wood. And so you can see it, even though it's separated, you can actually, this is actually one stockpile. And you can use a wheelbarrow. I think this is a de-effect thing. You can change the number of wheelbarrows to any number, but in the normal game you can only change it between 0 and 3. Let's just put 3. I don't like to be gamey about things like this, where you put like 10 or something. We don't even have that many anyway, but we can make them, of course. This is just a temporary thing anyway. And then let's make the workshops for that here. So let's go down through it. Of course, the first thing you want is a masons. The reason I put it over on the left side is because the stockpiles normally gets filled up from the left top, I think. So this is the more important type of workshop that you can use for stone. Craft dwarves can use this one as well. So let's put one in each side here. And then let's put a mechanic store shop down below. So here, 2 of them as well. And I think that's it for now. We'll wait with anything else. See if anyone wants to build these. Not a lot of... Oh, he's just sleeping. Well, one guy is doing something. No, he's also sleeping. Where are they sleeping? Oh, they're sleeping over here. Yeah, that's not so great, is it? Sleeping outside, but yeah, don't have beds yet. So that's just how it is. They get a little bit grumpy about that, but it's not for long, hopefully. So he's a building designer. Let's just make them able to do both masonry and stone detailing, which is the engraving and smoothing of stone. Let's make them able to do that. Actually, let's do mechanisms as well. Or it's under engineering, mechanics. Yeah. So while they're sleeping, we're adding mechanics to their labor. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, okay, I can do it by that. It's another guy. Stoneworking, engineering, mechanics. So that was 3. Where's the last one? He is actually busy. Nice. What's he busy with? Oh, he's creating one of the craft dwarves workshop. Actually, I forgot something completely. Of course, need to change the settings here, because this is just taking all the stone in the goddamn universe. Clay, sandstone, limestone, everything. So this one I only want it to be... Where is obsidian? It's not metal ores, it's economic, isn't it? Oh, it's here. On the other stone. Alright, okay, fair enough. So only obsidian in that one. And here, basalt. Okay. Hope things be sorted out by that. Is he sleeping right next to a seed? Why is this seed there? That's weird. Should be up here. Ah, I know. He's been eating a plum helmet and then he fell asleep and then you got 2 new seeds out of that. Brilliant. It's all good stuff. So here you see the amount of booze we actually have. It's not a lot. But you can't bring a lot. Here on the set you have the stores. This is what is set actually? What is status? Here you can see the status. So we're in the second of Featherside. I think it's the second month. So we've been here around 17 days or something. Nah, longer than that. It's late spring already. 2 months, maybe 1.5. Population 7. What they're doing? 15 animals. These are approximates. That's because we don't have a bookkeeper yet. It's funny you need that, but you need it. So we'll have a bookkeeper soon, because we want to be able to see how much we have. It's important to survive. For survival. So we have approximately 70 drinks and 40 seeds, 30 meat, 10 plants. Fine, no problem. And as you can see, this is the name of the outpost. Koskoshort. Slaughterpalace. I thought it was brilliant. It actually makes a lot of sense given our history. Let me just see where I'm at. I'm at 2 hours. I don't know how long I can actually keep. I don't know how long I can do the videos on YouTube. Let's just try it out. I mean, if I have to cut them up in several, then I'll just do that. It's fine. So I wanted to do the status screen now. I can show that to you. So I showed you this one already. I'm using not tab. Kitchen. 2 seconds. Alright, sorry about that. I got a phone call from my wife. She's gonna be at the airport soon, which is close to our home in Copenhagen, and I have to go and pick her up because I don't want my wife standing out there in the snow and cold waiting for a bus that might never come. So we have to go there soon. I'm just gonna show this quickly and then I'm gonna stop for now and do another episode later. So kitchen, we have plum helmets currently. I only want to brew them because yeah, I just don't want them to be used for cooking yet or at all. The seeds are already not set for cooking, which is great. They didn't used to. Don't cook with my booze, please. These things you can cook with. Great. That's actually nice. And then we have a stone menu. Don't really need to do that now. And the stocks menu. Don't really need to do that now either. So this is a good start. Not that there are that many bad starts. Why can't I go back out? Don't we have an F1 anymore? Set it to here. Oh, okay. Don't think I've done that, but anyway. Not that there are that many bad starts in Dwarf Fortress. I mean, usually you have a good start, or else you get killed within the first couple of seconds. But here we only have ducks, so it's not dangerous. You can have areas where undead and dangerous animals are, or you drop into a volcano or a lake that was supposed to be frozen or something. But this is actually a nice serene area. Not serene, but it's quiet. No savagery. So usually you get a good start, and it's only when problems start building up or when you just have a nice get going, then someone arrives to spoil the party. But we'll see what happens. I mean, this is it's a really nice area. I've never seen anything quite like this, and I look forward to try and see what we can build from it, and maybe learn a little bit of stuff on the way. I mean, there are a lot of new stuff lately in Dwarf Fortress, so I haven't checked it all out. The thing about Dwarf Fortress, I don't think there are any experts. I don't think there are anyone who's capable of everything in it. If there are, they don't have a lot of free time, and it's applaudable, but it's hard to get to that level, I think. And what else? I think, yeah, well, let's just learn on the way. And if you have anything, be nice to me, please. It's the first time I stream or record anything for YouTube, anything like this. So keep that in mind, please. But also any critique is welcome. Any suggestions, anything you want me to elaborate on or do slower, faster, talk slower, faster. Don't talk at all. Stop singing. Uh, Play some other music, although that's a little bit difficult sometimes because of the YouTube copyright stuff and all that. So, but any suggestions, I'll post this on Reddit, and you can post either there, or you can post here in the comments, or you can send me an email, or whatever you want. Pigeons. And I'll take it into account and try to accommodate. I mean, I'm here to give back to the community, so which is a great community. It's always been supportive, always been very helpful. So I want to give something back, and that kind of ends with you guys. What do you want to see? What do you want me to do? If you have suggestions to what something to do with the fort, or even if if you want to name one of the dwarves, I'm open to that as well. It's pretty cool to have your dwarf here and see what happens to him, her, if he becomes a vampire and slaughters everyone, or yeah, opens the back door for the goblins, all that kind of stuff. Or if he's a hero, you never know. Yeah, thanks for this time. It's been fun. I think it's been enjoyable. I'll try to do things maybe a little bit faster next time, but still, if there are new things, I'll do them slower, so you can see how it's done. Yeah, thanks for now. Have a great day, good evening, wherever you are, and we'll see you soon.